I'm not able to change your life, but you certainly are. And I have found that it's ideas that literally change everything in our life.
In life, you should only ever be doing one of two things, and that is figuring out what you're most passionate about, like finding your dreams in life. And then two, realizing those passions, realizing those dreams. And the first one is much harder than the second one. If you know what you want to do, no big deal. You just commit your entire life to doing it, and you'll either get really close or you'll die trying.
So what I would challenge this young man or young woman to do is you have to look inside of yourself and see what you really want. What are you passionate about? We use these words and these little phrases of only the strong survive and all this other crap. They're all just fucking words. I get so tired of hearing people just talking. Like right now, someone may think Goggins is just talking. You don't know me. So when I speak from passion. I speak from experience. I speak from suffering. I have to tell this young man or woman that the only way I believe, this is just my experience in life, the only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer.
You can become the kind of person that is so in tune with the values that you have and what you actually want, that when feelings rise up, you can choose to act however you want despite them. Even if you're tired, you can still go to the gym. Even if you're annoyed with your spouse, you can still speak in a manner that's loving. Even if you don't feel like doing that hard work, you can still push yourself to do it. Your feelings aren't a choice. Your behavior and your thoughts are always a choice.
Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives, and they have great kids. Their kids go to college and all sorts of stuff. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better life was going to the right side. And you may have 20 years of pain and suffering to get past it, but a lot of us die never truly starting our journey. And I would tell this young person, you gotta start your journey. It may suck, but it will come out the other side where you're coasting.
Many people are suffering from battle fatigue. They've been standing a long time, trying to break the addiction, believing for the promotion, praying for that family member, but hasn't happened yet. They never dreamed they'd still be single, still be dealing with the illness, still be trying to get the loan. Now they're tired. Let me encourage you, your time is coming. Your due season is on the way. Don't let time talk you out of it. Don't let discouragement cause you to give up. Don't let negative thoughts convince you to settle where you are.
You were born to succeed, to win, to conquer all difficulties, and to have all your faculties fully developed.
The only thing in life that stands between you and everything you've ever wanted to do is doing it. All that stood between me and everything I've ever wanted to do in life was doing it.
You have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived. You are capable of greatness in your profession, and more importantly, in your quality of self. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks. You are going to change the world around you in big ways and in small.
If we want to go somewhere, you got to do it. One of the great secrets in life to becoming successful, whether it's in a business, whether it's working with someone or for someone or in your own personal life, is be prepared in life for a lot of rejection. Because if you're prepared for a lot of rejection, it comes, you don't get turned off, you don't get disappointed, like, well, I'm not going to do this anymore, no one thinks it's a good idea.
We need trust, right? We need trust. When we're surrounded by people who believe what we believe and trust starts to emerge, when we trust them and they trust us, we're more willing to take risks. We're more willing to experiment, which requires failure. We're more willing to explore and go somewhere that no one has ever gone before, with the confidence that if we fail, if we trip over, if we turn our backs, that those within our community, those who we trust and who trust us, will look after us while we're gone, will pick us up when we fall over, will help us when we're hurt. Our very survival depends on it.
Courage, someone who has the courage no matter what to believe in something wholeheartedly and follow that with faith and courage to just go. And if I was able to do it, you can too. You know, but you need to start making that choice. You need to make that choice right now for yourself.
There are people who have lost their arms, lost their sight. There have been people that have been through the most horrific experiences in life, and they found a way to still be happy because they've made the decision that life is too short to suffer.
So many of you are waiting to be picked. By who? Are you making the most of your life? And the answer is yes, if you pay attention to what you do in 5-second windows. And so all you need to know to change anything is A, you're never going to feel like it. You're never going to feel ready to start that business. You're never going to feel ready to have that hard conversation. You're never going to feel like getting out of bed. You're never going to feel like it's a good idea to apply for that promotion. We're designed to stay comfortable and safe. So if you know that you're A, never going to feel like it, and B, that no one's coming, it's up to you. You're not a kid anymore.
I have some bad habits. All my habits are not great, so if you've got some bad habits, don't feel bad. So does your next door neighbor. So does your mentor, your coach. So does your mother and father if they're alive. So does everyone. And the trick of life is to replace a bad habit with a good habit. Make up your mind you're going to do it every day, every day, every day, until you don't have to think about it, and then you'll automatically do it. I guarantee you, this idea will change your life. Think about it all day, because that is definitely an idea that will give you results that will stick.
No matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, you can take the lid off of your job. If you're wondering if you still have the lid on in your life, here are some clues that's going to let you know that the lid is still on. If you're not excited about waking up in the morning, if you're sitting around bored out of your mind, if you got time to do everything anybody asks you to do, you probably got the lid on. If when you tell your dreams to all your friends, it makes sense to them, you got your lid on, man. Your dreams should not make sense to everybody. You got to say something that make people go, how you gonna do that? That's when you got the lid off. And if I were you, I'd do that. I'd take the lid off.
It's not always going to be easy. There are going to be challenges. There's still going to be curveballs thrown at me. But I can't become introverted. I have to continue to get outside myself, because when you're uncomfortable, that's the only way you're going to grow.
Right. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I am today.
You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive, but you're not taking the freedom. You're not running the day. The day's running you. You always be the fucking servant, not the master, guys.
We have the ability to go in such a space if you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer. Your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything.
We all fall down in life, guys. The question is, who gets back up? Again, it's not the potential of the individual. It's not the genetics. It's the perseverance, the never say die attitude. If you constantly keep throwing shit against the wall, eventually something will stick, guys. Never give in to what you want.
I am where I am, and only I can change it.
TV. Somebody said, Eric, have you not seen in America, everybody, have you not seen Scandal? You must watch Scandal. It's the best sitcom. Have you not seen Scandal? I said, it's a scandal. I'm not watching it. It's a scandal. I'm not watching it. Come on at 10 o'clock at night. I'm in the bed. I got to wake up and make my scandal become a reality. This is Scandal. What? I can't watch this. So I'll go home and say, Scandal was great. But I did Scandal on my time on my way to Australia. I didn't do Scandal when I'm trying to catch Jim Rohn. I didn't do Scandal where I'm trying to learn from John Maxwell or from my friend Les Brown. I'm not watching Scandal. So you gotta do me a huge favor, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. When you leave today, I want you to look at some things that you're doing, the 30% now, or the 20%, or the 10%, and I'm gonna need you to let it go. Just, bro, I've seen a lot, and I just was like, yo, I don't want that no more. And so what are the things that stop men from being successful? And I saw it. Females was one. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, it just seemed like, and still, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. I'm just like, yo, it just seemed like, bros, and my father had multiple kids by multiple women. You know, I got a sister I found out, you know, when I was older that I had that's only a few months younger than me. You know what I'm saying? She might be 9 months. Like, I was just like, yo, bro, I'm not disrespecting my family. Everybody got to go through their whatever. But I was like, yo, I don't want that life no more. Like, I don't want to lose. So I started looking at power, egos. A lot of dudes fail because of their ego. You know, they can't be the two-man. They can't serve nobody else, you know, and then money. You know what I'm saying? I just saw just people would just get money. Like, I grew up in Motown. So these young dudes would come great musicians and end up smoking crack or cocaine and just losing their mind. You look at Marvin Gaye, you know, Al Green, you know, the life that he had, Sam Cooke. Like some of the most talented people, Michael Jackson even, Whitney Houston. And I just started realizing like, yo, if you don't deal with your demons, they ain't going nowhere. They not gonna stay in the closet. Right. And so I was like, yo, E, you gotta discipline yourself. I started looking at Mother Teresa, Gandhi, and I was like, yo, bro, Gandhi would go fast from sex, and he was married. He would fast from talking. You know, I just started watching these great people and was like, yo, these people fast, and not about fasting, like that's not the piece, but they were very disciplined people. And they would not allow their exterior world to dominate or destroy their internal world. I just like, yo, I want to get to a place where I can control me. My family members have grown. I lost an uncle who cirrhosis of the liver, brilliant man, but just drinking. And I was like, yo, I do not want to. My father was a substance abuser for years. I was like, yo, I don't want a life where something else is controlling me. You know, like for real, when I left home and said, I don't want to be controlled no more, like I meant that. Like I don't want nothing to control me but me. And so I got to put myself under extreme discipline to make sure I'm free. So when people see me, you get up at 3, you don't drink, you don't smoke. I'm not doing that because I think I'm better than nobody else, or I think you're gonna go to hell because you had a drink. I want to control, I want freedom. And for me, disciplining myself means more freedom. And the less you discipline yourself, people who, I told my son the other day, I was like, yo son, I don't not want you to have fun. I just seen a history of people who just have fun. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, New Year. Yeah. They're the people who
Thursday night, Friday night.
Oh man, every night. Yeah. They're the people who end up in their 20s having a great deal of fun, but in their 40s and 50s, they working for somebody, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with cleaning toilets, but they doing something they don't want to do for the rest of their life, and they can't retire because they played so much. You know, so for me, I just look at Venus and Serena, Michael Jackson, when he used to like 5 and 6 just dancing all night. I just think the more a man disciplines himself, the greater, it don't mean it's gonna happen, but the greater the probability that he has this sense of freedom. And I will say this, the one thing I enjoy is that now where I am, this don't mean that when you're 20, you're 30, you're 40. I never knew I would be who I am. but I'm grateful that I disciplined myself the way I did, because some of the issues I could have as one of the top motivational speakers in the world, I don't have those issues. And let me tell you something, I'm around more temptation now than I have ever been in my life. And we're not just talking about women, we're talking about opportunities, we talking about power, we talking about, bro, I got a call, and I won't say names because I know you know how you are, but I got a call this week from 2 or 3 people that top in their industries. And it's just like, yo, the people I coach and the people so I'm grateful that I'm disciplined, because I could see if I wasn't disciplined with the exposure that I have around the world, whew, I could get myself in a lot of trouble right now if I wasn't disciplined.
Is it something, let me ask you this. So is it something now that is just routine, the discipline, or do you still have to have it in your conscious mind?
I'm still a man every day.
Yeah.
I got to wake up in the morning. I am not past still being a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
You feel me? Like, I'm not robot, where I get up every day, and now I've gotten to a point where women are not attracted to me. With certain personality, I'm not there, bruh. I'm not there where I see chicken and don't want to eat fried chicken.
Right.
I'm not there. I still like the way chicken tastes.
Yeah.
I don't have a vegan heart.
Right,
You feel what I'm saying?
right.
I don't have a vegan mindset.
Yeah.
I just know that my wife got MS and I want to help her out.
Yeah.
But I don't see chicken and go, that's disgusting.
Right.
They're killing some chicken was murdered. We should not kill chicken.
Yeah.
I'm not on that. I'm on, my wife shouldn't be eating fried food and she don't eat rotisserie chicken, you know, so no, I have to get up every day, and it's a battle every single day to do right. So if you see E.T. cut somebody out on the street level, you know that I'm human and I had a bad day. But I figure if I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and get through this routine, the probability of me not going off is greater. But it don't mean I'm not gonna have a bad day. It just means if I follow my routine,
but I really want you to get results, because guess what happens as soon as you come up with a plan? Opponents show up, don't they? Yes, there's 3 kinds of opponents. If you read any good story, you watch any good movie, as soon as the main protagonist has this desire and they get excited about it and they come up with a plan, then sure enough, opponents come to oppose it. That's what creates drama in your life. And there's 3 opponents. Number 1 is the external opponents. That's gonna be all the other people. They're gonna call you in the morning, or by the way, if you wanna do this in the evening, obviously you can do this evening, or at your lunch break. You can do this hour of power at whatever time works for your schedule or for your body. But the ideal time, again, is in the morning. But the point is, the minute you try to do this, the opponents show up. The phone starts ringing first thing in the morning. There's all these other projects, all these other demands that all want your time and attention instead of giving it to yourself. And when you come up with a plan, the same thing happens. All kinds of resistance will show up. And if it's not from the external opponents, it'll be from the intimate opponents, the people close to you who love you dearly, but they don't understand. You gotta have time for yourself. Your kids want this and want that, but if you don't take time for yourself, there's not as much of you to give them, is there? Same thing for your spouse. You know, the people around you, your friends who don't understand why you can't talk to them right now. Take those friends on a run with you, on a walk with you. Get them to do the hour of power. I love to do this with my lady. It's one of the great things we share together. We do it side by side. And then after end, we share our celebration. But also there's the internal opponent. You know, the parts inside of you that are conflicted, saying, yeah, I really want to do this, but I also want to do that. You've got to put the opponents at bay. And the only way to do that is discover what are the beliefs, which is going to be our next step. What are the beliefs that are conflicting you? What are the beliefs that are stopping you? See, whenever you're upset about something, it's because of the beliefs you have. Beliefs control behavior. Whatever you do it because of your beliefs. And you may not know what those beliefs are because often they're unconscious. So we're going to discover the beliefs that may be holding you back and the beliefs that will move you forward. But I have to say this to you. You've been extraordinary. You listen to me babble and dump the whole load on you at an incredibly intense pace. Something that most people go through a seminar for, you've been doing in this results workshop. So I want to give you a chance to have a victory right now if you want to limit your time today. So if you want to stop now just for today and start tomorrow with beliefs, you're welcome to do so. But let's remind you, here's what you've done today. You've gotten clear, you've got to get disturbed. You can't accept things, you can't make it, it's okay. You got to say, never again. This is done, not within a minute, not within a day, this is changing. Step 2, you got to make a decision about what you do want. You don't want to just be upset. You want to be sure what you're after. Something that'll get you stay up late, get up early, and really go for it. Something that drives you. And then thirdly, you got to come up with your initial plan, that massive action plan. We don't get excited. We don't change things by a little action here or there or trying something. We do it by just going full force at something and taking some massive action right now. So today, if you want to, take some action right now. Review what you've done in your journal. Take an action today. Turn the CD off. Or if you're one of those people that just can't stop, that wants to complete this workshop right now, that's as insane and crazy as I am, then continue to listen to this CD and we'll go to step number 4. And that is, you've got to change your limiting beliefs. First of all, what is a belief? You know, we think of a belief as a thing when a belief is really a feeling. What a belief is a feeling of absolute certainty about what something means. If you believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that if I invite you to walk across fire, you're going to burn, then there's no way you're going to get yourself to do it. But if you're familiar with my Unleash the Power Within weekends, then you know for a fact that we've had literally 750,000 people from every age, from 7 years old to 87-year-olds that have crossed this fire. If the only thing stopping us is a belief. See, if you don't believe you can ever get yourself at 6 a.m., you're never going to. If you believe you have to have 8 or 9 hours sleep, you're going to make sure you get it because you don't believe you'll function without it. As you believe, so is it done unto you. Sound familiar? Whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. Because when you feel certain about something, you're going to find it. You're going to make it happen. If you're certain that you can't succeed, you're going to look for all the reasons why you shouldn't even start, because who wants to fail? Beliefs control our behavior. Now, sometimes the belief is unconscious. Like, you've been taught your whole life, look before you leap. But you're also taught he who hesitates is lost. Figure that one out. Very often we have conflicting beliefs, but I can tell you this, whatever you're feeling and whatever you're doing is usually based on a belief, and you may not be conscious of it. If you're starting to feel really angry or really frustrated or really sad, I'll give you a little question to ask yourself, and I'll probably talk about this a couple of times, and that question is simply this. What would I have to believe to feel this way? What would I have to believe in order to feel this way? See, for me to be angry about this, I have to believe that this person has control of me and I can do nothing about it. Well, when you start to realize what you'd have to believe to feel a certain way, you start to say, wait a second, I can do something about it. That isn't true. And it breaks the hypnosis that the belief has. It takes away the certainty that you're at the effect of things and gives you the opportunity to take control. Does that make sense? The same thing can happen if you're feeling really sad. Why am I feeling sad? Well, in order to feel sad right now, what would I have to believe? I'd have to believe that nothing can ever get better, that I'm overwhelmed and I can't change anything, that I'm at the effect of it all. You know what? We all know that's BS. Belief systems, right? But see, when we tell ourselves something over and over and over again with enough emotional intensity, we start believing it. It becomes an incantation. Most of our beliefs are things that we heard or saw, we felt a lot of emotion about, and then we repeated it to ourselves again and again unconsciously or consciously until we felt certain. And certainty is such a great asset when you get yourself certain about what you can achieve, what you can do, what you can change, what you can make happen, who you can love, what you can connect with, what you can create. But when you're certain about your limitations, you got a real challenge. And you know what? Most people know more about their limitations than their assets. You follow how important this is? Psychology's everything. You got to get disturbed. You got to get clear on making yourself a decision about what you're committed to. What's that result and why? You got to get a plan, a real plan. And you got to schedule that plan. And you got to make sure you got a set of beliefs in place that you've decided to live by that will get you to follow through on a constant and consistent basis. Let me tell you what's great. As soon as you start to get any results at all, you'll get momentum, and with that momentum, you'll develop new beliefs. So if you can just get yourself in gear, you're going to get the kind of results you want. So here's what I want you to do now. I want you to write down, in the past, what are all the beliefs you've had that have kept you from following through on this goal? So if you said, well, I've been wanting to write songs forever and I haven't done it, now be honest with yourself. In order to not follow through, what did I have to say to myself? What did I have to rationalize? What were my beliefs? Well, I don't have time for this. You've said some of them before, but I want you to write down the specific beliefs and then write down what are the beliefs you're going to live by now that will get you to follow through. So if your old thing is workouts equal pain, and the new one is not working out is the ultimate pain because being disappointed with myself is the worst emotion on earth. Plus, working out, second belief, is easy and fun because I can do it, I can schedule it, and if I schedule it and I do it every day, it'll get easier. Every day I'll enjoy it more. Write down first the beliefs that kept you from taking action, and write down now the beliefs that will empower you. Come up with at least 3 beliefs that used to limit you, ideally 5 or 6, and at least 4 beliefs, ideally 5, 6, or 7, that are new beliefs that'll get you to follow through on your new plan. Go for it now. Please take the time for this. This is very important. okay. I really hope, because I can't see you in this moment, that you're really taking this seriously and taking the time to do it. And if you're driving and you feel like you really couldn't pull over, I want you to still do this in your head. So assuming you did it, let's go through this for a second. Here are a couple examples from people around me here. One of the people here, the person who was having difficulty losing weight, the young lady said that she realized her limiting belief was, if I'm successful, people might not like me. Now, we all need to feel loved. And I said, where'd that come from? She said, well, when I was growing up, and she said, I got around the successful girls, the girls that were popular. She said, when they realized I was really smart, they classified me as a nerd because I was successful in school and they wouldn't spend time with me. And so she said, I started believing that if you're really too smart or you're too beautiful, then people might not like you. And I said, what's your new belief? She said, people won't like me unless I love myself. Isn't that fantastic? Because it's the truth. Then her second belief was, other things are more important than working out. And then her new belief is, nothing is more important than making sure that every day I'm making myself more healthy and more vital. The third belief she had that kept her from taking action was, well, it's not that bad. And her new belief is, it's terrible. Now listen to the language she used here, because this is why she's really motivated to change. She didn't say, oh, it really isn't very good. She said, it's terrible. Every pound I gain is eroding who I am as a woman. So that kind of belief system, that new belief, will move her to action. Do you follow? I mean, so few people ever allow themselves to be disturbed long enough to do anything about it. Man, they get disturbed, they instantly want to get rid of that pain. Let's do something right now, instantaneously, to feel good so I don't have any drive or motivation. You don't want to kill that. Then the few people that keep that usually just stay there in the pain and don't do anything, and they beat themselves up. Oh yeah, here let me tell you what else I've screwed up on. As opposed to those that say, okay, this is not good enough. Not another day, not another minute. I am changing this now. And then in that mode, they then get focused on the result. They don't focus on the past, they focus on the future they're gonna create now. And they focus on why, so they find that drive. So few people do that, it's a joke. That's why so few people ever achieve. And the few that might do something like that rarely come up with a real plan. And then even if you get to that level, here's why most people never get any results, because then their old beliefs take over and wipe out the plan. Do you understand why we've taken the time to do this now? It's so important.